So I saw a TikTok the other day from estranged parents to other estranged parents, and it said that they got asked a lot, if you knew then what you know now, what would you do differently? And I was like, holy shit, great question. I know exactly what I hope my parents would change in their methods in raising me. But then I read on. To be honest, I would hold them a little longer and kiss them more. Okay, yeah, that's a great start. I wish I got more comfort from my family, especially when they deemed me too sensitive. I could have used a snuggle and a kiss instead. And then they go on to say, knowing that I would only have 25 years with my son and 35 years with my daughter before they decided I was a monster. Whoa, a monster? Somehow, I doubt that. I doubt it. Not saying it's not possible, but you would have to do a lot to them to make them think that you are a monster. Personally, I've had to go no contact with my parents, and it's not because I have ever thought them a monster. Quite the opposite, in fact. I am hurt by them, and they refuse to even try to understand. Hell, my mom doesn't even believe me when I speak. She believes me to be a liar, and still, I love her. Also, I need to point out that this mother here believes that if she made any changes, her son or daughter would still go no contact with her. That just shows me that she thinks that her son and daughter are the problem and that she did absolutely nothing wrong. Wow. Then she goes on to say that I would have held them a little longer, nothing else. I know their lives, how I was with them, because I was there. Really? Do you really know their lives? I can't believe that's all you would change, too, honestly. I have a list of things I would ask my parents to change so that I could grow up to be an even better person than I am now. I'll be the first to admit that I've made my own mess of mistakes. Yes, I'm human, just like you. But I've learned from them. Why can't you do that as the parent if you were given a second chance? Would you want your children, in your words, to think you a monster? Why wouldn't you be willing to change your behavior or parenting methods to have a better relationship with your children as adults? You do realize that you were the adult when they were just children? Why do you believe that you did nothing wrong and now everything is your child's fault? These are genuine questions because it baffles me. I've had to go no contact with my parents, and for some reason, especially my mom, would rather never make a change in herself to see me again. Seriously, mind blown. I'm gonna follow up with a series of things that I would change or ask my parents to change in the way they raised me, and their methods in raising me, and what they can do now to make repairs. It just blows my mind that they refuse to believe me, or if they even bothered to listen to me to begin with, you know? It still goes on. They loved me until they didn't. Until the world told them not to. First of all, do you really think that your child can just fall out of love with you just like that? I don't think it's possible to fall out of love with anyone just like that, let alone a parent. I estranged with my mom, and I still love the living daylights out of her, even though she hurt me. Second of all, do you really think that your children don't have minds of their own? That is honestly quite insulting as an estranged child who I'm pretty sure her mom believes the exact same thing. At least that's how it feels. I highly doubt this mother's children don't love her and are in fact grieving the childhood that they wish they could have had with her. With her for emphasis. I find that it's often that most estranged children don't find the estrangement community until they've started to notice the behaviors in their parents that are abusive in ways that are invisible to the world, emotionally. They seek the communities to make sure they aren't as crazy as they have been made to feel. Hell, I was physically abused and didn't realize it until just a few years ago. We don't just go no contact because other people tell us to. We don't. It's just not a thing. My first therapist honestly taught me that estrangement is the last resort and that we don't want to make it a permanent thing. I kind of agree with that, but that's ultimately, up to the parent, the other person who's refusing to make a change. She would go on to tell me that my mom would treat me that way because she was hurt as a child. Just so you know, nobody deserves abuse, physical or emotional, just because you were hurt when you were a child. That's on you. Now, because of this, I didn't go no contact for much longer than I wanted to. And now, moments of grieving aside, I am doing much better because I no longer have to jump at texts so that I don't upset my mom for responding too slow. Nor do I have to watch what I say around my own family. I finally feel free. I should have felt that with them. Still, I love them. I do. I wish they were in my life right now. But they aren't willing. They're not willing to make just a few changes for the child that they chose to have. That's ultimately why I went no contact. I made my own decision. Without a therapist. Without community. I made my decision based on my parents' own decisions to not change. Finally, this mother says that they would change anything. They would not change anything they did because they gave them everything that they had. I bet you that the changes that your children would ask would not cost a thing. If anything, I bet you anything that it would make your life easier because there would be a whole lot less stress and anger and hostility even in the household overall. Like I said, I'm going to do a series on the topic. I strongly urge any estranged parent watching this to give it a chance and to genuinely ask yourself, would it be manageable changes that I make in the suggestions in the future? Or would it have cost you more than everything, as this mother put it, because the way you originally chose to raise your children, the way that you originally chose to raise your children cost you everything. It cost you your children. Now, we, the estranged children, have lost the parents that we wish we could have now, when they couldn't be that for us when we were children. It's grief on both ends. And it seems to me that it's usually because the parents refuse to listen and hear their children. Listen. Just listen.